Season 5, Episode 11 of Yellowstone reveals the true danger to Rip and Beth's romance. After killing his abusive father and fleeing, Rip arrived at Yellowstone Ranch, and the couple had a long history that started in their childhood. They later reconnected years later while working on the ranch and got married in Season 4. They then adopted Carter, an orphan who needed the ranch just as much as Rip did when he was a child. Therefore, it seemed that the ending for these two characters in Yellowstone would be a happy one. However, John's death may change that. When Beth learned of John Dutton's death, Rip was in Texas, but he quickly returned home to help her. However, he is still unaware that Beth's infertility resulted from an abortion she had when they were teenagers, which has led to speculation that the truth will come out and destroy their relationship. Now, with John's death threatening the future of the ranch, Rip and Beth will likely face a new, more pressing challenge. Rip had simply traveled to Texas to take care of the property. He led a group of cowboys to move a herd of cattle that had been exposed to a dangerous disease, transporting them to the 4-6's ranch in Texas until the disease could be contained. While the duration of the trip was uncertain, it was clear that Rip did not intend to leave Montana permanently and viewed it as an extension of his work for Yellowstone Ranch. However, the flashbacks in Episode 11 reveal that Beth's views on the ranching lifestyle are different. She tries to persuade Rip to spend more time with her after her unexpected trip to Texas, but he is unable to do so as he needs to return to the 4-6's to continue supervising the cattle's transport and care. Together, these events suggest that Beth does not want to be a rancher's wife and wants Rip to give her more attention and less to the cattle drive. This is part of her desire to pull him away from the ranch so they can have some alone time, whether John is around or not. Rip is dedicated to Yellowstone Ranch. When he was a scared teenager who had just killed a man to protect his family, the ranch saved his life. John Dutton, the owner of the ranch, played a major role in that by allowing Rip to stay in exchange for working on the property. However, Rip has since worked the land and connected the ranch to his chance for a better life. Beth, on the other hand, feels differently about it. Beth may be motivated to fight for the ranch's survival because it is her father's legacy, and she has always had a strong loyalty to him. However, she had a difficult childhood. She lived on the ranch after her mother died from a fall while riding a horse, an incident for which Beth was blamed. Later, when Jamie took her for an abortion, it prevented her from becoming pregnant. So while Beth will always remain loyal to John's memory, she would prefer to live in Texas with Rip because the ranch itself is painful for her. In the end, it might be better for Rip and Beth to move to Texas so they can live a life together, free from the burden of Beth's traumatic memories and her ongoing ties to him at Yellowstone. Jamie and Beth's relationship has always been toxic, and if Jamie is around, Beth has little happiness due to his betrayal of the family. It makes sense that she wants to leave. However, the question of the ranch's future in Yellowstone must be resolved before Rip and Beth can consider starting over in Texas. Rip will not be willing to turn his back on the ranch that saved his life, but Beth doesn't see a way to save it right now. To save the ranch and ultimately achieve their goals for a more peaceful, content future, even if it means moving away, Rip will need to help Beth rediscover her fighting spirit for Yellowstone.